Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And you'll hold your horses. And let's not take it to the stupid. Seen a couple of comments on my page. People attacking Jaron Boots Ennis. Person said, Boots Ennis is just another boo-boo Andrade. He's a bum. He's not proven. He's horrible. He'll lose when he steps up in competition. Now to that I say, hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. Now, the one thing about that I'll say is Boots passes the eye test, hasn't really faced stiff or elite competition, but he's in the right space he needs to be in. There's the right promoter behind him. And I just think timing is everything. You look at the climate of boxing, Turkey Al Sheikh, he has all the stateside promoters working with him now. So you're seeing fight cards being put on, like what we're seeing with Terence Crawford fighting Madrimov in California. And you got Andy Ruiz on the card, Gerald Big Baby Miller on the card. Isaac Pitbull Cruz fighting Jose Valenzuela. It's a composite fight card. It's mixed up with fighters from different promoters. And that's what you want. Now, as far as Demetrius Andrade, that's not really a bad comparison to be made when you look at Demetrius Andrade, who was a multiple weight division champion from super welterweight, middleweight, and then bubbling up and picking up a world super middleweight, fighting for the world super middleweight title. So he's made some noise. But the reality is, Boo Boo Andre was ducked a lot. Now, I'm not making that up. There were some things he could have done better himself, but he spent a lot of time chasing around Canelo. But with Boots Ennis, for where he's at right now, he's got the power, he's got the skill set. Demetrius Andrade, when he was down there at, I think, super welterweight, he had the power and the skill set. Just couldn't get the big fights. Bubbled up weight divisions, trying to chase Canelo, trying to get the big money. And you look at where Demetrius Andrade is now, probably one of the best fighters of this era who just never really reached his full potential because he didn't have the right promoter. The climate at the time was not what it is now. And it's hard for me to say it's all Demetrius Andrade's fault. A lot of inactivity. But Jaron Boots Ennis, he's not going to end up like that because they're going to put him in the right fights with the right opponents to where Jaron Boots Ennis can shine. Now, there's a huge discussion going on saying, well, if Jaron Boots Ennis were to fight Terence Crawford, it'd be just like when Demetrius Andrade stepped up and fought David Benavidez. He'll get embarrassed. He'll get exposed. I got to disagree with a lot of that. First of all, Demetrius Andrade, he didn't really get exposed. He was up there fighting somewhere where he could beat a lot of guys, but not the elite because they're just too big for him. So he was chasing greatness. And as we all know, David Benavidez, he really is a monster. Okay. Now with Jaron, he's in the right weight division at 147 and even at 154. It's a safe weight division for him. It's not like Jaron Boots Ennis is jumping up to 160. See, that's when you got to say hold your horses. Maybe he's kind of getting a bit carried away and gonna make a mistake here and start believing that he can do something to the bigger guys that he couldn't do, that something to the bigger guys that he was able to do to the smaller guys, and it doesn't work out that way. Let's look at Devin Haney's situation. But let's be real. Jaron Boots Ennis is going to clean out the 147-pound division, at least from what we see, right? Who could possibly create an issue for Jaron Boots Ennis? And let's just be fair. Santion, Crowley, Barrios, who? Rocha, Blair Cobb, Stanley Ennis, Butev, Ryan Garcia. So, I think if Boots were to fight Terence Crawford, which is what Turki Al-Sheikh is trying to arrange for later this year, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen with that fight. But what I will say is I'm going to hold on to even start talking who I think could possibly win. But just on paper, I mean, I'd have to go with Terence Crawford right now. But Terence Crawford is in a tough fight. He's coming up on a very tough fight against Madrimov. And I want to see how Terence Crawford's reflexes are. See how his offense is, see if he can still hurt these guys, because Madrimov is a big, strong guy with an expanded amateur background. But if he gets past him, and Ennis gets past his mandatory, and Turki Al-Sheikh can bring Crawford and Boots together, then we'll find out. Now, for those of you who are saying, screw you, Hood Champion, there's no way Crawford and Boots will fight by the end of the year. The only way I see it not happening is if somebody gets hurt in the fight and need a lot of time to heal up. Because the kind of money Turki Al-Sheikh is going to offer these guys, it's going to be hard for them to turn it down. I really think it's going to be damn near impossible for them to turn the money down, because Turki Al-Sheikh is going to make sure that they get paid or get compensated, handsomely compensated. So for those of you who are saying Jaron Boots Ennis is another Demetrius Andrade, look, I kind of agree, right? Because he's not really proven yet. It passes the eye test. We see him do some great stuff against Roman Villa, but before that, we had to say the opposition was less than stellar. But let's see him get in there. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think if Boots cleans out the 147-pound division, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think Boots is going to get labeled like Terence Crawford did when Terence Crawford became undisputed at 140 pounds. Because if Crawford drops those belts at 147, okay, you would think Barrios would get elevated to the WBC champion. Boots is already the IBF champion. Stanley Ennis should get elevated to the WBA champion. Then Santion and Giasov should fight for the WBO strap, right? That's if Crawford drops the belts. Now, I think Santion will beat Giasov. So you got Boots, who can fight Santion. Interesting fight, but who do you have winning that fight? Let's be real. Okay, Jaron Boots Ennis, at least from just what we know about the two and what they bring to the table, gotta go with Boots. Then if he unifies there, who do you have winning between Boots and Barrios? Or Boots against Stanley Ennis? Let's be real. Right? So what's going to end up happening is Boots is going to get kind of labeled. Matter of fact, he's going down the same path as Terence Crawford, because he's going to become undisputed, and he's not going to really get credit for beating Santillan, beating Barrios, beating Stanley Eunice, if those are the same guys who have the titles when he comes around to collect all the belts. They're gonna treat him the same way. And he's gonna have to drop that undisputed distinction because there's really no one else there who could give him a true run for his money outside of Kavaliauskas. Then you got to move up to from 147. You got to move up to super welterweight, 154 pounds, and then there he can make a little bit of noise. There'll be some good competition there, but I don't know. Boots beat another Andrade. I mean, kind of, because you just don't know just how good he is. But I think he's going the direction of becoming kind of like a Terence Crawford, where he could be someone who's so good that he makes everybody look average. And as a result, he's not going to get the credit he deserves until he goes up and probably fights one of the old lions like Terence Crawford. And he would have to beat him. But then they'll probably say that, hey, well, Crawford was old. So I think both are going to, if he keeps performing the way he does, he may always have to prove himself. And he may never get the credit he deserves. I think it's extremely imperative that he stays with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. They have that closeness with Saudi and Turkey Al-Sheikh. I think he should ride this wave as long as he can, make as much money as he can, because I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is on borrowed time. But we gotta wait and see. Get a little bit more information about Turkey Al-Sheikh and his health issues. That being said, Boots Ennis is just another boo-boo Andrade, as the way one of the subscribers put it. And if they meant that in a negative way, I don't agree with it. But if they mean it as far as, hey, we don't really know what he can do until he really steps up against sound competition, then I could understand that. But Boots soon as passes the eye test, and just when you look at his style and what he's been able to do to the ring against a boxer, against a come-forward fighter, there's no one at 147, from what I've seen, except for Kavaliauskas, that will get his man any problems. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.